Hello everyone, today I will be talking about some expensive rare items in WoW Classic Hardcore. One thing we have to take into consideration is that all content will be available on Hardcore, therefore some of these will also be a bit cheaper compared to original Classic back in 2019. The first item I'm going to highlight is Staff of Jordan. I know this is a low level epic item, but then again it provides so much damage and healing. And even though it's level 35, then you can easily use this all the way up to level 60, and at max level you'll probably not replace this until you get the rare staff from Diamol or a new weapon from Zul'Gurub. I'll continue to mention some lower level epic and rare items that will be expensive, and then later on I'll mention some of the higher level items. But the reason why I will mention these first is simply because these will also be the ones that will appear on the auction house first. The next item on this list is the Underworld Band, a level 38 epic ring that increases the shadow damage you do with 14. Super useful as a shadow priest or a warlock, especially in the beginning if you lack items that increases your spell damage. This ring will not be your best in slot, but it's still fairly amazing at level 60, and remember it's not unique, so you can even equip two at the same time. Next on this list is the Flurry Axe, a level 42 epic axe with fast attack speed. This might not seem that good, but trust me, as an orc warrior, this is amazing if you play Fury. Back in 2019, I used to purchase these on the Alliance auction house for probably anywhere between 50 to 75 gold, and then I sold them on the neutral auction house for something like 150 to 200 gold. The reason why I could resell these for a big profit is because orc warriors would like to get their hands on these. Orcs has axe specializations, so all of a sudden these weapons are also amazing at level 60. Cassandra's Grace, a level 42 cloth hit, and yeah, the quantity is only rare, but even at level 60, then the bonus healing provided is amazing. Back in original Classic, I purchased these for around 10 to 20 gold each, and a couple of weeks later when more people reached level 60, I sold them for anywhere between 50 to 100 gold. Another item you should also look out for is the Warden Staff. This staff is useful for level 60 feral tanks, mainly because of the armor, but also the defense it provides. The only thing is that this time there will also be Diamol available, and in Diamol you can pretty much get a weapon that is quite similar. So the price for this will not be around 300 to 400 gold like it was in Classic, probably more like 100 to 200 gold. So if I have a chance to purchase this for something like 50 to 75 gold, then I will definitely invest into it. Next on this list is probably one of the most expensive items in Classic, Edgemasters. These gloves are pretty much best in slot for fairy warriors at level 60. I used to purchase these at the WoW Classic launch week for something like 200 to 300 gold, and a couple of months later I could easily resell them for 1 to 2000 gold. And as we got to phase 5 and 6, these gloves were selling on the auction house for something like 3 and all the way up to 5000 gold. I know the price will definitely not be as high in WoW Classic Hardcore, simply because of many different factors that will make the gold a lot more difficult to get compared to original Classic. Gold will of course still be easy to obtain, but it's not going to be the insane amount of numbers compared to how it used to be in WoW Classic, also because if people die with gold, they're going to lose it. In a moment, I'll cover 10 more expensive items that I'm going to invest into. But before I highlight these items, then I would also like to let you know that I've been working on a WoW Classic Hardcore gold making guide. This guide will focus on many different things you can do in between level 1 to 60, so things you can do as you're leveling your character to make a ton of gold. For example, raw gold farming, items you can farm and post on the auction house, investments and gold flips, how you can level your profession and make gold at the same time, and a ton of other things. For more information, make sure to check out the description below this video. Anyway, onto the next expensive rare item that I'm going to invest into. The Freezing Band is a ring that is not unique. This allows you to equip two of these at the same time, and as a Frost Mage this is amazing. Also because you'll mainly be playing a Frost Mage in the beginning of WoW Classic Hardcore when you're leveling, but also at max level, because in Blackwing Lair, Onyxia's Lair, but also in Molten Core, you will be using frost spells to do damage. Another item that I also felt like I had to highlight were these plate shoulders. So useful for a protection warrior in the beginning because of all the stamina but also the defense these provides. I'll try to purchase these for something like 50 to 100 gold, and I should be able to flip them for something like 200 to maybe even 300 gold a couple of weeks later. Now that I'm already covering tanking items, then I also have to talk about this tanking neck. A lot of stamina and defense as well. This can even be useful as a feral tank. If I remember correctly, then I used to sell these for something like 70 to 100 gold each, but a lot of them showed up in the beginning when people did lower Black Rock Spire and upper Black Rock Spire. And early on I could purchase them for something like 30 to 40 gold each. I guess some of you would probably also complain if I didn't mention Cruel Blade. And yeah, this sword is so good in the beginning. 1% extra chance to crit. And I mean a lot of rogues will use this weapon. I remember selling these for something like 200 to 300 gold the first month of WoW Classic launch. So I'll try to see if I can snipe one of these on the auction house for something like 100 gold or less. And yet another weapon I will also try to see if I can purchase for less than 100 gold will be this axe. This will be just like the Flurry axe. So an axe I will purchase as an alliance player and flip or will try to resell on the neutral auction house to a horde player. Because this axe will also be one of the best weapons you can get as a furry orc warrior in the beginning of WoW Classic Hardcore. Before I talk about any other investments that I will do, then I gotta warn you that all the prices that I'm referring to is how it used to be in WoW Classic, not how it will be on the hardcore servers. Therefore, I would also highly recommend you to scan the auction house for the first couple of weeks before you do any expensive investments. Also, so you get to know the market on the server. When I get some more knowledge, then I'll also be releasing more videos with different things I've learned, and these you can easily find on the channel, so make sure to subscribe so you get notified when I post a new investment or gold making strategy. The next item on this list is yet another ring, and this time it's Maiden's Circle. One of the best rings you can get before you start raiding as a caster. And this ring is mentioned in so many different pre-raid biz guides. Therefore, I also expect these to be quite expensive. As a restoration druid, shaman and a holy paladin, the Sass of Mercy is such a good healing build. Therefore, you also gotta pay attention to this build and if it's going to show up on the auction house. And now that Diamol will also be available from the beginning, then there's other things you should also look out for. For example, the different class books you can get in there. These books will reward a class-specific trinket, and some of them will be so good in the beginning. For example, this one for Restoration Druids, that increases your healing done by 44. So amazing in the beginning of WoW Classic Hardcore, also because there isn't that many trinkets available to healers. In Diamol, you can also get this epic item that starts a quest for warriors and paladins. And when you complete the quest chain, then you're also rewarded with an epic tanking weapon. One thing we gotta remember is that Diamol will be such a popular instance to do, basically because of the amazing rewards you can get. Therefore, there will also be showing up a lot of these items on the auction house, and for that specific reason, I might not invest into any items from Diamol, unless they're super cheap. However, one thing I will be looking out for is this level 48 epic dagger. This is honestly not only a rogue weapon, it's also so amazing for a tank. The reason why this is also a good tanking weapon is because of the fire resistance, but mainly because of the fast attack speed. This allowed a warrior to easily swap to a new target, attack it, and build up threat. But then again, this weapon is honestly also so expensive to invest into, and maybe you might not even make a good profit. If I had 300 gold, then I would instead invest it into some of the other items I've also mentioned in the video. Or maybe into some of the many other items I've mentioned in my WoW Classic gold making guide. And there's honestly so many different items you can purchase for a couple of gold and easily make a big return on a couple of weeks later. And from my experience, it's way better to do the cheap investments in the beginning, make a profit, and then this profit you will spend on new investments, for example the rare and epic items I've mentioned in this video. Then a few weeks later, more people will reach level 60, and now there will also be more gold in the economy. This is where you will make a profit on the items that I've mentioned in this video. Soon I'll publish a lot of hardcore gold making videos, for example ways you can make gold without even using the auction house. If you would like to get notified when I post these videos, then make sure to subscribe. As always, thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day. Peace!